Hello, welcome to SM Tech Call. Today we are going to solve the day 18 of August LeetCode challenge. So today's problem name is numbers with same consecutive difference. So basically we will be given two integer input, one is n, another one is k, and we need to return all the possible number where the consecutive difference is equals to k. So what that means, so if you check the first example, you can see that n is 3. That means we need to consider all the 3-digit number only, and k is 7, so k is the difference. Okay, so basically if you check the first output, first element of the output 181, right? So here consecutive difference is between 1 and 8 is 7, right? So we should take absolute value. Again for 8 and 1, again here consecutive value is 7, right? So this number is a valid number, right? We can return it. So similarly for 298 and other numbers also, right? But another thing, 070 is not a valid number because it has leading 0, right? So we need to ignore all the number where we have leading 0. Okay, so I think this example is sufficient to understand. So let's write the code quickly. So how we can solve it? So there are multiple ways to solve it. We can use BFS, breadth first search approach. That means we are going to so for each and every number we will go according to our breadth, right? So every time we will increase our number by 1 only, right? But and another approach we can use DFS or depth first search kind of approach. That means at a time I will go till depth means I will find all the 3 digits, then I am going to add that in our output list, then again I will backtrack, and then again I will check for other numbers, right? So basically there are two approaches. So for today's example we are going to use the DFS. You can try later the BFS at your own. So let's try to write code for the same. So basically what we need to do at first, we need to return an array, right? So but since array size is fixed in case of Java, so we are going to take initially one list, and then we are going to later convert that list into array, and we can return it. Okay, so let us take one list. Its type should be integer. Li equal to new array list. Okay, now what I need to do, so we need to consider some edge cases also, right? So suppose my n equals to 0, right? N equals to 0, that means we can return blank array, right? Since for 0 digit we will not be able to form any output for the same. Okay, so it should be new int 0. That means we are going to return blank array. So there can be other edge cases also, like suppose my n is equal to 1, right? In this case we need to consider 0 also, right? So suppose my n equals to 1, then there can be possible 0 also, right? So we are going to add that in our list. So if our n value is 1, then we need to consider 0 also, right? Number 0. Else we need to consider number from 1 to 9, right? Okay, so let's go further. So these two conditions are for just covering edge cases. Now let's write the actual implementation. So I already told you I am going to use DFS. So we are going to implement our DFS method, and in DFS we need to pass three things. At first the n, total number of digits. Then we are going to pass the k, the actual difference, and we are going to pass another parameter called number, which we are going to add finally. Okay, so initially it will be 0. And once we are done with our DFS, we are going to return li, right? So we need to convert that li to array. We will do that later. Okay, so let's write the implementation of DFS quickly. So it should be an private, then void, then DFS. Okay, and we are taking three parameters. So int n, then int k, and then int number. Okay. Okay, so now, so in this DFS we are going to do the actual perform the actual logic, right? So so there can be some scenario, right? Whenever I will find all the 3 digits, I am going to add it in our list. So let's write logic for the same. So if n equals to 0, so initially suppose for the first example, right, n is 3. So we will start DFS for 3, we will find one digit, then we will move back and we will try to find a second digit, then third digit, and whenever I found all the 3 digits, actually my n will become 0, right? So if my n is 0, then we can add the number in our list, right? Final list. So li dot add number, and since it's a void, we can stop execution, right? So whenever our n is equals to 0, so for each and every time we are going to decrement the n value. So whenever it will reach to 0, then that means we found one number and we are going to add that. Okay, so now let's write for code for the other scenarios, right? So suppose for the first time when my n is 3, so how we can do that? So we are going to take another for loop. Then since we need to consider from 0 and we need to iterate till I less than 10, basically up to 9 only, and I plus plus. Okay, so now we need to consider two things, that the whatever number we are trying to form, that should not have any leading 0, right? So we need to avoid that scenario. So let's write code for the same. So we need to check that if I equals to 0 and number is also equals to 0, that means we don't have any number till now, right? So initially it will be 0, since we are passing 0, right? Here we are passing 0, so we don't have any number, so initially it will be 0. And if these two conditions match, then we should skip, right? We should skip our skip for the current I value. So we are going to continue. Okay, and else if, so suppose that number is not 0, number is 0 but I is not 0, right? Basically that means, so whatever is the I value, we are going to pick that and we are going to add that, right? So basically when my number is 0, but we should not use any leading 0, so we write this condition. Okay, so let's write else if number equals to 0, means I don't have any digit in my output number, so number will be initially 0. If it is equals to 0 and I is not equals to 0, that means suppose I value is 1, 2, anything I can be, then we can call our DFS function and we can try to find other possible number, right? So let's do that. So if number equals to 0 and I not equals to 0, then we are going to call our DFS function. Again, for DFS function we need to pass three things. So that means I already found one number, right? So my n will be minus 1, n minus 1, then I am going to pass the same k value and then I am going to pass the number. So number initially it will be whatever is the I, suppose it's 1, then we are going to pass 1 and we are going to check that is there any combination for 1. We will try to identify that in recursive way using DFS. Okay, and suppose for other scenario, right? So suppose my number is not equal to 0, that means I have already found one digit, now I need to find remaining two digits. In that case, what we need to check? So we need to take one if condition, and so basically I will discuss it after writing the code. So basically, suppose I already found two digits, right? Suppose I found 1, 8, something like that. Then how can I check that the consecutive difference is same or not? So basically we need to use math.absolute function, since we need to ignore minus. So what we will do here, so whatever the number value is, number percentage, means we will take remainder, right? Percentage 10. I will give you code work after this. Number percentage 10 equal minus I, right? Minus I equals to k. Using this we are checking the consecutive difference, right? So suppose my number is I found 1, then again I found another number, probably 8. So 1, 8, percentage 10, that will remainder will be 8, right? So then I will do the minus I, and if I will check that my difference is matching with the given input. If yes, then again then that means we found another digit and we are going to call DFS function once again, right? So let's write that. So again we will call DFS. Again we will decrement the n value by 1. We need to pass same k value, and in this case our number will be number into 10, right? So since I found one digit, so I will multiply with 10, right? And plus I. Okay, I think that's pretty much for the code, and we need to just convert it into array, right? So we can use directly Java Stream, since we are using Java 8, so it should be Java Stream. So we can use Java Stream, then map to int inbuilt method. Basically we are just converting it to integer array, right? So since we need to return integer, I dot to array. Okay, I think that's pretty much. Let's try to run our code and check whether it's running or not. Okay, so there was some mistake here. It should be return. We need to return, right? So it should be return. Let's try to run once again and check. Okay, I think it's giving us the expected answer. Let's submit our answer also and check whether it's accepted or not. Yeah, I think our solution is accepted. So let's try to understand the code, what we have done here. Let's try to do the code walkthrough. Okay, so Okay, so let's do some code walkthrough quickly. So basically we are taking one list, so in which we are going to maintain all the possible digit whatever we will found, and we are calling our DFS function initially with 0 value since we don't have any number initially. Now let's forget this part. Now since n is equals to 3, then we will come to this part later. We are running one for loop. Basically we know, right? So we need to check for every combination, right? So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 and 9, right? So probably, so let me write that quickly. Okay, so basically we need to pick one number at a time, right? So at first I will pick 1 and I will check, and we are avoiding 0 since we don't need to consider leading 0 number, right? So we will start from 1 actually. So I will start from 1 and I will check, is there any number? So I will start from 1 and I will check, I will put that 1 and I will call that, so I will add that 1 in our actual number when my n value number is 0, right? I will call my DFS with number 1 and I am going to decrement my n value, right? So n value will be after that 2, right? So n will be 2 and my number is 1. Then again for 1 I will check for all the other combination, right? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 and 9, right? Everything. But before that we will check that is the difference is matching with the k value or not. If it is matching, then we will add that to that number and we will call DFS again and we will decrement the n value, right? So basically suppose I found initially 1, then I will check is there any number where I can get the difference equal to k. Okay, so I can see that if I pick 8, so then in that case 1 minus 8 is equals to 7, right? Since we are taking absolute value, then we can pick 8, right? So 8 can be a number digit we can pick, so we will pick 8 and our number will become 18. So we are do that, right? Number into 10 plus I, and then we will call DFS and we will decrement the n value, right? So my n will become 1. So that means I already found 2 digit, I need to find the third digit. So again for third digit again I will check. So in this case I need to consider this last digit only, right? Not the first digit, only the rightmost digit. So to pick this rightmost digit we are doing percentage 10, right? So if I do percentage 10, that means I will get the last digit. So I will get 8. Now I will check for all the other combination, right? 1 to 9, for which digit my difference will be 7, right? Again I can see for 1. So if I pick 1, so that means 8 minus 1 is equal to 7, right? So we can pick 1, right? So again initially our number was 18, then I will add 1, then again I will call DFS, and again in this first condition, right, here we will find that n is equal already 0. So that means we've already found one number and we are going to insert 181 here, right? So this is how we are doing it, right? So that if you try to draw the flow, at first we will pick one number initially. I will start from 1, then I will check for all the possible combination where my difference is 7, right? In the first example, or k. And if I found any number where my difference is 7, so probably I found 8 initially, then I will decrement my n value. N will be become 2 L and it will be 8. So let me draw quickly. Okay, so at first suppose I found 1, then again I will check for all the combination, right? 1 to 9, and suppose for 8 I can see my difference will become 7, right? So 8 minus 1 is 7, that is equals to k, right? So we can pick 8 and we can one number will look like this, 18, right? Now again I will check for all the possible number, right? But in this case I will going to consider the 18 last digit only, right? 8 1 to 9. Again I can find that for 1, if I take 1, my difference will be 8 minus 1 equal to 7. Then we can pick that number or add that number in the existing number, that is 181, and then we can add that in our result set, right? So this is how we are solving it. So this is the algorithm basically. I think that's pretty much for this video. If you like this video, please subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.